Okay. All right. So Haunters Hangout is over. I've done my due diligence to support the industry by not being live at the same time as them. Good show. If you're not familiar with that, Haunters Hangout is a group on Facebook. I have to set up the monitor, of course. So give me a moment to do that. Pop out the chat. Cute. I'm back. I am quite happy to come back. But Haunters Hangout, they deserve support. So, absolutely, let's do that. Let's support everybody. So, top hats. I did get. This is one that is now done and coated. This is one that's done and coated. Now this guy I think is just about dry. Always takes me a moment to figure out which end is the front or which end is the back. So yeah, I will let this continue drying. I have a weird ring on my head from this. Here's another one. So I've got two done, and I'm working on a third one. Hello, Dante. Dante, where do you live? It's 10 o'clock, and I have a concern. It's 10 o'clock where I am, that you're not that old. So, want to make sure you're hitting a good bedtime. Can't be up all hours of the night. Just saying. I know you're 10. What time is it where you are? Like, there's time zones. Where I'm at right now, it is, Alexa, what time is it?
It's 10:16 p.m.
It's 10:15. Like when I was 10, I think I had to be in bed by 10:15. Just saying. Careful. You're a party animal, Dante. You're a party animal. I am doing good. I am doing good. That they do hate me when I dispose of plaster molds. It's absolutely right. But when I do that, I normally, I'll like tape a 10 spot under the lid or something because it's a bear. Rob hates it when I throw clay away in the garbage. That clay gets heavy. So this is my template here that I'm cutting out. So while we were off the air and Haunters Hangout was going on, I took all of my pieces and I made nice stiff board pattern pieces. So I'm able to fairly quickly trace those out and get them going. Castle Blood hat, very nice haunted house. I believe it's in Monessen, Pennsylvania. I think that's the town name. Haunters don't have normal hours. Even 10-year-old haunters, apparently. Ezekiel, what time is it for you in Australia right now? Is it 5 or 6 in the afternoon? 1:18 p.m. So different. Okay. So I have, these are the pieces I need for this hat. It's like a cooking show. I've got one almost done. Just because I was working. My wedge is already in. My disc is already in. I got to cut the bottom here. I think somebody asked about that and how I do that. I'm going to cut the bottom out before I try and glue the top in because my paw does not fit inside of there. Yep, 8:17 in California. Pretty slow night, only 18 people on, but that's cool. It's all good. Right now I'm kind of going willy-nilly. I'm just going to get that out of the way. And now I can pretty much see the blade. I'm sort of laying it on the stovepipe part of the hat. And then when I get a piece out, I look for the like this is overhanging a little bit still. So I go back and I clean that up. Thank you. Pisby Clown? Pisber Clown. Pisber Clown? You'll have to help me on the pronunciation of that one. If you make words up, people aren't going to know them. Okay. And my blade's a little sharper. I'm afraid so. Again, I said that my wife was essential. I won't necessarily reveal what she does for a living. It's not crazy or anything, but she's a hard-working lady. And right now, the world needs her. So I have to share. I don't always like it. And of course this is going to go in up here, and I thought that was a little big. This is one of the, I always make my pieces a little bit bigger from the pattern so that I can kind of trim to fit. But if it's too small, you can't do anything about it. Just take a little bit off all the way around. And I'd rather have more to work with, just like the brim. I don't cut the hole in it as part of the pattern. Let it happen. See how this does. I gotta find my front. Where's the front of my hat? It's right here. I made a little line. See a little mark? That's where I want the front to be. Because when that's perfectly lined up, you don't see either of these two seams. See that seam? You don't this way. See that seam? You don't this way. So, Cyber Clown. Okay, that makes sense. Does concrete stick to the foam board you get from Lowe's? If I could carve a negative image in and peel away foam and have a concrete prop. Yes, you can, but don't worry if it sticks to it, because what you do is you actually melt your foam away with acetone. Your mold's not going to be good for more than one, but you You break off the foam, and then you melt it away with acetone, and then you have a nice, clean concrete prop. Line cook Thor, very kind. Very kind. She's I'm very blessed. I won the wife lottery, in my opinion. I definitely married up. And now I'm putting a reinforcement strip on the inside of the hat. And this just holds that seam together on the inside. Well, I have stools that are a great height for those rolling things. That's what I do all my classes on. When I do my mask making classes, I use those. Hey, Scott. We went from 18 to 28 pretty quick. Hello, Cody. Thanks for watching. Does anybody out there work with EVA foam? What I'm working with right now is EVA foam. That's what this stuff is. I find it's really good for making top hats and that kind of stuff. This inner strip really just ups the strength. How many have you made, Ezekiel? I didn't know you did that. It's a good material. At least 30. Nice. So you saw what I was doing tonight, and you were like, well, that's old hat. This is fun. Sorry. Won't happen again. I apologize. A little more I'll take off here. Because I want this to settle on the inside. I don't want it to, I don't want it to, Very cool, Scott. It's a neat material. It's very neat. It has advantages and it has limitations. I'm very multimedia in my approach to things, or mixed media. So it's often, not uncommon for me to do EVA foam, but then I'll put a latex skin on it, that's my understructure. So, yeah. Oh, cool. Cool on the night helmet, I should say. And then I say cool, and no one knows what I'm talking about. Got to get better at that. So yeah, contact cement is a wonderful thing. But you have to put it on both things, and then it has to dry. And I want to line up myself where that front of that hat is. I want that to point at me. Okay. I got my stools from a store that used to be called At Home. No, it used to be called Garden Ridge, and now it's At Home. So At Home is where I got my stools. Oh, very cool, Ezekiel. It does take a little bit of patience to get to learn EVA foam and work with it, but it's worth it. It's a wonderful material. Yes, my stools were about 50 bucks a piece. I have 10 because I do classes, and they were a big expense for that first monster camp. Let's find that front mark again. It is facing me. This is what I consider the front of the hat. And I'm just using my finger to keep those two edges straight. There we go. Now I can, that's why I did this hole down here, so now I can use my hand inside. Because I want this top piece to be all the way inside of the hat. I have one little bit right there where it pops up over. I can fix that. Now I'll hit these with a bit of a Dremel to clean them up. But first thing I gotta do is shape that brim. Yeah, you email to place the order. That's what I do. Yeah, and like right now you could go in and there'd be a Halloween aisle. They're pretty good about leaving it out. Yes, mine are metal. Mine are metal. I'll show you one here in a second. They often feature prominently on my vidges. This is a lower table, so I'm not sitting in a stool. Steve, I'm vending at both, but I'm actually going to go to MHC. I happen to make more money there, so that is why I'm going to MHC. But it's a show that's 10, 15 years old, whereas THC is a year. They've only done 1 year so far, so they're catching up, but a little bit down in front. This is why you use your beard. While it's cooling, you can shape it, and then when it cools off, it stays in that shape. Yeah, my stools are metal and wood. Yeah, I've got like 5 tables that look like this. This is Kraken tentacle colored with some peeling latex on it and all that. Okay, so that top hat is set to go. It's a big one. And this is one of the, I did 2 sizes. So this one actually fits me. It's big, but it does fit. It should be a little bigger. If you're gonna fur a rat, then I would go with their. I think grizzly is the line of fur, and timber wolf is the color. It's that gray, mixed gray. It's nice. All right, so but that's a hat, you know, very good shape. So that is 3 hats done. I've got to paint it yet and all that. I think I'm going to keep cutting and do more cutting and then do. I'm going to cut them out, glue them together, and then I'll paint them all at once. I'll have a painting party. Yes, beard rubbing is a steel wool alternative. Absolutely. And I think, now that I have my patterns done and everything, it's not going to take me too long to get the hat knocked out. I don't have a piece down there big enough, but what I can do is I'll do these pieces out of what's down there. Oh, stool! I was showing you a stool. I really wanted the kind that have a hole right here, like it's like a handle as well, because then you can carry it without it tilting over. But this is they're metal stools, they're stackable, nice wood top. Yeah. At home, you still have a sticker on it. But they're very sturdy. I'm a big boy, so you know, but they're rock solid. Dog Boris is. For this purpose, I like the Flex Seal. Plastidip goes on thinner, and Flex Seal goes on textured and thicker. So it hides my seams. I can just go right over that seam and you'll barely see it. And if I did 2 coats, you would not see it. But I normally don't, because of who I am as a person. That is perfect. That. Now this foam does not have a pattern on either side. It's a little more expensive. A lot of times the floor mats are going to have like diamond plate or something on one side, which is fine for like when I'm doing apocalypse masks, because you know, they're supposed to look like they're made out of metal anyway. Oh, I'm glad you enjoy the corpsing videos, Paul. Well, the government has said that I am not essential. Right now, you learn who is essential and who is not. I am not essential, but that's okay. I do art for a living because I wanted to do art for a living, so I can live with being not essential. Not big enough to get this piece out of it. Maybe one of those I can. You know, but this is all about conserving space. I want to get these parts in as little foam as possible so I can save big pieces of scrap. You know, if I cut this wedge out of the middle up here, I lost that whole piece. If I fit it in over here, I'm good. I just don't have time to write a book. I wrote a book by accident once. Someone took my, it's an ebook that I have. It's on my website. But someone took all my answers from the Fright Forum, and they, all my answers from the Fright Forum, and they organized them and made a book out of it. And it's pretty cool. And now it is an ebook. It's a little dated because it's probably 15, 20-year-old info, but you know, font info doesn't change. Hello from Mark's Mortis. Hello. It's Rob. Hey. How are you? So I'm going to do this one. Let's see if this guy will fit here. Oh, it does. Just barely. It actually doesn't, but it's so close, I'm not going to tell. Small Fiji mermaid in a glass case. Very cool. Oh, awesome. You wish you were not essential because you want a vacation. Well, I would say that we're not on vacation. We're in quarantine, which is a little different. If I was on vacation and home, well, I would go somewhere, number one. But if I was on vacation and home, then I would most certainly have friends over, all that. Right now, I might have one person come over at a time, and they work on the side of the room, so we don't get within 6 feet of each other. Technically, they're not supposed to be over here working, but in a small way, the machine needs to roll on, you know? And so we do what we can to minimize risk. And go. Note, I minimize risk. I haven't left the house in a while. I'm very lucky I like my house. That wasn't always the case when I was, well, that just wasn't always the case. I did cut out a foam strip for this, right? I know I traced one. Sometimes my dogs help me with things by eating them. Well, I'll just trace another one. This is literally the easiest piece. You're at work watching me? No, we're under shelter at home here. We're not 10 or less. If we were 10 or less, I could do a lot of other things. Very nice. Okay. Of all of those pieces, I need the big piece, which is the pipe. For that, I'll need a big piece of foam. I'm going to go ahead and knock out like 8 top hats so that I can just burn through the ones I've got to put together. It was a little bit, you know, it was a little bit. Yeah, and I think Tennessee is getting hit a little harder because you guys are a little behind as far as the you're later to adopt the whole solitary, personal isolation, whatever they call it, social distancing. But that's okay. At least your lieutenant governor didn't say that. It's okay, kill your grandparents, save the economy. That's what our lieutenant governor said. Because Texas. I don't know which top hat is your top hat. Won't know that until I start knocking out the masks, which is coming. Every morning now I'm pouring up a mask and flipping out and getting the old one. It was raining quite a bit here and that was slow. But now I should be able to get a mask a day, no problem. And that's all my pieces cut, or at least all my pieces traced. I do want to check that this is 5 inches. These are 1, 2, 3 blocks because this is 3 inches by 2 inches by 1 inch. So that should be 5 inches. Yes, I happen to have a yardstick right here, but you don't always. This size, there's a company called Foam Mart. They're in California, and they ship. If you do it out of an airbrush, make sure it's an external mix airbrush, and I spray at about 50, 60 psi. Don't cut through your power cords underneath of your table here. Hey, Mr. Jimmy. You can use either siphon or gravity, but it's got, like the Pache H is, it's kind of an external mix, almost. It's just about an external mix. Pache H is my go-to airbrush for everything. Now this piece should come out. Now I'll take these off of here. 1, 2, 3 blocks, man. I love them. My dog is eating a cardboard box. It's what they do. Yeah, this will be hat number 4 for tonight, and that's where I wanted to be. Yeah, that's Foam Mart. Yeah, Pache H is my preferred airbrush pretty much always. It's not my Desert Island airbrush, but it's probably my favorite. Yes, my H has a cup underneath. All right, so that 5-inch slice adds a bit of drama to the hat because in it I'll put this wedge. So I don't want it to be a straight tube. You know, I want it to flare out a little bit and have some character. And this allows me to put this in, and then, you know, it bells it out a little more up top. My Desert Island airbrush is the Harbor Freight Quick Change airbrush. It's a $10 airbrush, but I can change colors in 5 seconds. No other airbrush can do that. And until someone does make an airbrush that I can change colors in 5 seconds, that's going to be my favorite airbrush on the planet. It also, I can shoot contact cement through it. I can shoot latex through it. It handles almost anything, and it's $10. So that means it's inexpensive. If I break it, instead of an external mix. So all that you have to do is keep the bottles clean, where the little nozzles on the bottles, and you're in good shape. Harbor Freight, quick change airbrush. Quick change. Don't just get a $10 airbrush, because they have 2 different types of $10 airbrush. Get a quick change airbrush from Harbor Freight. Yes, it comes as a quick change airbrush. They clip in and clip out. Really nice. Tomorrow I'll probably go live painting Gravediggers, and I'll show you my airbrush setup. We got 40 people on tonight, kids. I'm just kind of messing around making hats. The Gravedigger costume we did was very well received, so I gotta make more. How that goes. And since there's no trans world, I am relying on the orders that I'm getting from the website. My wife has been amazing about getting things on the website. Almost everything is up on the website. Yeah. I was very worried that I put something in the wrong spot, but I didn't. I didn't. This will be the next piece that I do, and then this piece. But right now, I gotta heat sucker up. You have 4 of them in Australia. You know what? They're pretty great. Just because of the fact that they can spray so much. I don't know if you saw I did a video on making cobwebs with that airbrush. You put contact cement in, you shoot out at 100 psi, and in the air it cures and kicks and becomes beautiful cobwebs. Scott is the man. And I'm heating up the whole sheet because I want this to make a nice, even tube. And if part of it were warm and part of it were cold, it would not be as nice. I'm reminding it that it's warm down here. I'm not, counting one side. Good night, Percy. Good night, Scott. Okay. I'm going to hit this side a little bit. There's a cooler side. Remember, foam is insulation. So just because I'm heating one side doesn't mean I'm heating, both sides. Yeah, that sounds about right. But honestly, buy from Pache themselves. Email Pache. Go to Pache's website and look at their H kits there. And then email Chuck Passion, P-A-S-C-H-E-N, something like that. Tell him I sent you. And he'll get you in the right direction. That is my rep at Pache. He is an awesome guy. So I'm turning this over and I'm pressing it together against the table. That way I know both those edges are going to be flat and they're going to meet up. Go back. Contact cement requires pressure to make a good bond. That's why I'm going in and I'm giving it the best squeeze that I can to put those two edges together. I was in need of a new button. I've actually gotten that fixed. I swapped out my buttons. Well, yeah, it is harder now, and honestly, the issues that we're facing now, we're gonna have Halloween decoration issues come October, I think, because normally I get things that I order in January, I get them in June, and I don't think I'll get them in June right now. Maybe it's gonna take a little while longer. Okay. So this guy I'm sitting inside of here, but I'm sitting next to it, just so I can shoot air into it with the heat gun and dry them both. Plastic Ninja, try AliExpress. AliExpress. They'll probably have the product you're looking for, and you don't have to order $5,000 worth. I've tried Barge. I don't like it as much. I'm used to Weldwood. I like Weldwood. It's nice. So this hat is 11 inches tall, is 12 inches tall, and this strip is 11 inches. That way it can rest in there and be a little ledge for the top piece to sit on. And it's not in the way of the prim. See, now I gotta put in the wedge. Well, companies who sell them do. Companies who sell them need that many. I bought $2,000 worth of skulls at one time for an area of dark hour. Yeah, it goes on smoother. It takes longer to get clumpy. Exactly. They normally sell to big resellers. Yes, exactly, Plastic Ninja. Yeah, Nightmare Maker sells silicone molds to make your own skulls. Pretty cool. And I'm making sure that this is nice and flexible so that I can get that wedge in there. And I start at the bottom on this wedge because if I start at the top and it doesn't fit in the bottom, I'm scrummed. But if I start at the bottom and it doesn't line up on the top, I just trim it. So think about what and where, you know. And those kind of tips are what's going to be what'll speed you up. It'll help you be faster. Then I can knock out one of these hats in about 30 minutes now that I have a pattern and all that. And all of that. There's just a little bit to trim here because I did not measure my circle perfectly. So it's a little bit of a ramp, but it adds character. It's fine. And all of them are the same way, so it's not like one is different than the others. Now I want to find my front of the hat. This is my front of the hat. Put a little mark there. I need to line up where my brim goes. So just to make my life easier, and so I know, I'm going to use my 1, 2, 3 blocks to mark a circle around here. I'm doing well. I'm doing well, Edie. Thank you. Yeah, the dollar store skulls used to be terrible, and they switched their mold, I think it was 2 or 3 years ago, and now they're not bad. But Dollar Tree is going to have some supply issues again, to how much of their stuff comes from China, Asia, you know. I made my pattern. I made it, there's a video before this one. That's where I made it. And it's, I measured my head around, and I added to that because there's going to be a mask on under it. Okay, really nice. Hold on now, what are you going to mold up, fairy lover? What are you going to mold up? Because if you just mold someone else's piece, that's stealing. You're stealing it. If you sculpt one, and then mold that. Then you're contributing art to the world. Just be really careful with. Yeah, I mean, not for sale. Okay. But you know, what if you're in a bus accident and you die, and then your SO has to get rid of all your stuff and says, "Oh well," and then they give that mold to somebody who does make and sell them. Just saying. There's a lot of molds that I don't keep track of because I worked at a haunted house that, you know, and then I made the molds there, and then I leave, and then who knows where those molds go. So it's great that you aren't going to sell things from it because you know that, but the next guy may not. Drawing a spider. That's very cool. Yeah, make your own. Make your own. Add art into the world. If you get a chance to add art into the world, why wouldn't you? And I just made these little lines in here to help me line up the hat. It's not that's not exactly where it's going to go, although that's pretty close. But you. And I want to mark my front of hat. Okay. That's pretty good. Now that that's marked, I feel good about blue. Paul, that's so awesome. I'm very happy to hear that. Um, there is a joy to making things, and that's one of the things that when you recast something, like I just was mentioning the Fairy Lover a second ago, when you take someone else's work and then you mold it and you make more, your heart isn't as happy as if you sculpted it, you molded it, and then you produced it. You might be proud of your technical achievement because it's not the easiest thing in the world to do, but your heart knows that I didn't make that. And that's a weird thing to say, but I think it's true. And making things fulfills you. Oh, very cool. Very cool, Rodney. Yeah, I want to see your paint job, man. And again, I want to get this nice and warm. Make sure that's dry. And actually, I want to put a starter hole in this. So I can get my hand in there to cut. Just do that easier. There's my front piece. Glad you like your mask, Rodney. Yes, you can buy something from the dollar store, put it into a prop, and then sell it. But if you buy something from the dollar store, you mold it, and you sell that copy, that is theft. The same as stealing someone's song or stealing someone's film clips from a movie or whatever. You're stealing their art. A lot of people don't think about that. Yeah, a lot of people don't even think, it doesn't cross their mind. They're like, oh yeah, I guess I shouldn't do that. But yeah, it's a biggie. You got to be careful. Again, I'm just doing a rough cut right now. And now I can go in, I can see now, and now I can go in and start to really define this hole. Define your holes, kids. Last thing you want is a poorly defined hole. Ezekiel, you're making me blush. Yeah, I've seen a few folks rip off that zombie brain game It was a great idea. I hope that they mailed them $20 for the idea, because there's a lot of direct rip-offs of it. So now I can really go in and make this clean. Okay, so there we go. That much is set. And I have not cut this one yet. Did I cut this? Yeah, I did. Okay. Let's see how this fits. Just a little bit over here I need to move. Okay. Yeah, you know what? It doesn't matter if your videos are the best. It's about sharing. The production value on my videos isn't good. I hope the content is good. I'm not a movie maker. I'm a monster maker. And yeah. Got some videos I'm shooting tomorrow that are more product videos, and they'll go up on the YouTubes, and then my wife can pull them from there and link them to the website. That'll be nice. And listen, I'm not one of those guys who's like, hey, don't link your channel on my channel. Link your channel, man. Post a link. Share what you're making. That's I say go make stuff and share the experience too. Okay. There we go. Oh man, listen. The new fursuits, they're amazing. Um, they are a production nightmare, and this whole situation hasn't been helping that. But they are wonderful as far as comfort and breathability and look. Like you don't see that long hair on stuff. So, but anyway. I was not wearing pants in that video. Like in this video, right now you can't tell if I have pants on or not. And it doesn't matter. Right now I'm wearing Schrodinger's pants. But I might not have been wearing pants. And it doesn't matter. Does it? Will there be patterns for this? No. I showed you how to do it, and you can do it. I made the pattern in front of you in the last video that I did. It was Shop Hangout, just me. I should call it Making a Top Hat. I'll go back and change the name. I don't know if I'm bringing the ponytail back. Just time, you know. Long hair requires maintenance, and I'm busier than a long-haired guy ought to be. Here we go. Here we go. Well, it's not that much effort, but I maintain a busy status, my friend. And I have such thin hair, it'll tangle and knot pretty easily. Thin as in, the hairs are not thick. And it looks like my hairline is receding, but I've had that hairline since I was like 15. So, and maybe it will. I'm in the weird spot where I don't know who my mother's father is. That's a little family mystery there. Okay, so this is a little too small. See that pucker? I'm just gonna fix that pucker. I'm going to cut one side, cut a little slit, push one side all the way down, and then I know where to cut the other part of it. And now, I'll glue that right there, and I glue this together, and I'm good. Yeah, my hairline is just a little further back. You know what? I like making that pumpkin scarecrow. Okay, that's plenty dry now, and I can just push that together. I can go inside the hat, push, 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 push. Push, push, push. And again, it just adds a little bit of character to it, which I don't mind at all. Well, you get your hair falling out or not is from your mother's father. Genetically, like that's where it comes from. If your mother's father has a full head of hair, then you probably will too. All right, so we knocked out another one. That's a very nice, See, it's got a little bit of a tilt to the top of it, and that flare just gives it some character, where it's not just a straight up hat. All right. Now I have to shape the and I just hold it like this for a little bit. I used to rock the long hair look. There was a time. Used to look like Tonto. Real long, dark brown hair, and very tan. And, well, a healthy weight. Times they are a changing, my friend. That is top hat. And once we make it black, it'll work. This one is the right size. It's bigger. I actually want to do one of these that I cut eye holes up here and bring it down and then have monster teeth in. And do that type of, the Crooked Man had that look in the Crooked Man movie. Yeah, it's a full 12 inches tall. Got to back up even further so you can see it. Top hat finger guns. Okay, so let me go ahead and hit this one with Flex Seal. But I want to set up a place to put it first. I'm going to put it right here. I often will say leak seal or flex seal, but here we go. And look at how much texture this puts on. I can just do this and go over that area, and it really helps hide those seams. Before it gets hard to turn, I'm gonna can's dead. Grab another. Yes, that is the shelf of items I've been hiding. But I gotta flex seal them anyway. I might just do them next. I could use it for a boat when it dries, exactly. I'm bad at keeping hats on, but I definitely have hat hair today. Now I've got good pressure, getting good coverage. Double check. This is exactly the same way I make my snowman hats, but I make them smaller. And for those, I actually sculpted the snowman hat in tinfoil, and then I ended up making a paint pattern off of that. But that is top hat. Ding! Put it in its spot. It works very good as a coating for EVA foam. So yeah, we just build these guys out of all kinds of things, EVA foam helmets and whatnot. I really should have a glove on now because this stuff does not come off easy. It doesn't matter what color all this stuff is when you build it, because you're going to make it all black and then we're going to paint it. Probably have to touch up those spots. Okay, put him back. Good night, Coaster Universe. Okay. Yep, nobody got time for gloves. I should, though. I should have time for gloves. Here's another one. Doesn't look like much now. But once you black it all out and then repaint it, and this adds a grime, you know, because it adds that texture. I love that. And I even do the helmet too, even though I'm just making it black, but it adds that texture that I like. And because the foam is either black or gray, you don't even notice too much if you go thin in a spot or miss something or whatever. It's going to be a better, blacker apocalypse. Okay. I have another hat to hit. You know what? I will do. I might bring back deranged masks next year. It's worth it. For a while there, I had enough people making them. I didn't have to. But what do you do? I enjoyed making deranged masks. Yeah, I see that seam. Very noticeable seam. If I stay back here, and just go right over that seam, it's much harder to see and pick out. And I don't have to go super heavy with it. Going along the edge. Every exposed area gets it. But with the pattern, I can make them all consistent. That's what I want. All right. This guy is done and dry. I'll be honest with you. I never understood home haunting. It's just too much work to not get paid for it. That's on my end. I mean, that's been my feeling for a long time. I just don't really understand, you know. That much work for nothing. By nothing, I mean no money. Yes, seeing people be happy is great, but still, I mean, money. It's to me, it's my business. It's my livelihood. So, doing it for free, I don't understand. About acting, what kind of tryouts do I recommend when looking for actors? The tryouts. Okay, here's my audition process. I have them just do a couple things, and you know, ask them a few questions. I asked them, why do you want to work in a haunted house? And if the answer is, you know, money, then I probably won't hire them unless they're amazing. And I tell them that. I say, listen, you've told me that you're money motivated. This is not a job to get rich. There is some money in it, and I want to pay you for doing well. You started yourself very low because you said money was your main motivation, so you have to be amazing for me to hire you now. And that some people I will hire from that point, but most of them are not amazing because they just came here for, you know, $10 an hour. I have them walk from one side of the room. I say, okay, pretend you are a werewolf and walk from one side of the room. And they do that. And then they walk to that side of the room and back. I want to see them move about 40 feet. How do they move? How do they hold themselves? Can they make character for that 20 seconds it takes to do that? And then I say, walk across the room as if you were a zombie. I start with zombie normally, then I go to werewolf. And they do a zombie back and forth. And then I say, walk across the room as if you were a ballerina hit by a school bus. And that tells me, are they creative? Can they think of that? Can they perceive it in their mind and give it a shot? Try it. A ballerina hit by a school bus. How do they move? You know, that's not something they've heard of. They've heard of zombies. They've heard of werewolves. But a ballerina that was just hit by a school bus, that's when you're going to see some interesting things. Or you'll see their brain shut down because they're like, I got nothing. And that's what I don't want to see. And then, last thing I have them do is say, I want you to say to me, in the scariest way possible, the scariest way that you can imagine, I'm going to stab you in the face. That's the line you have to say. I'm going to stab you in the face. Say it in the scariest way possible. And some people will crawl under the table and whisper it. Some people will, just shout it and get on the table and get aggressive. Some people will, sniff you and then say it very quietly. There's a lot of ways to do it. What's the scariest way that they can imagine? That works out. Those things, that tells me all I need to know about them. I don't need no 45-minute interview process. Those things right there. Yes, you are crazy for your home haunt. That is so much work. And I freely say I've never been a home haunter. I don't understand it. It's not in my makeup. And I'm a pro haunter. Professional plumbers don't have this problem. There are people who like go out and practice plumbing on the weekends for fun. You know, it's weird. So hat stuff. It's 11:30. Whoa, Alexa, what time is it?
The time is 11:34 p.m.
11:30. I'm gonna shut down for the night, kids. We have done some good stuff, but it's getting late. It's getting kind of hectic. You're dry. You can move to there. You come here. Okay. And this guy I'll put over here now. All right, so we got 4 top hats knocked out. And tomorrow I should be able to knock out 4 masks. No big deal. And then kill it. I am keeping busy. Hi, Zach. I am keeping busy. I do set up. Well, here's why I'm on so late, Zach. Shannon's working. She has to work right now. So I might as well be in the shop. I might as well be doing this. My puppies are sacked, smooth out, and they have no idea what's going on. They're like, why is he in here so late? We're just going to sleep here. We give up. But that's what my puppies are doing. They're out. Yes, I'm going to be on tomorrow. I'll be on tomorrow during the day, maybe tomorrow evening. I'm definitely going to paint up some grave diggers, get them ready to go. I should have 4 grave diggers ready to go out the door tomorrow night. Thank you for being awesome. There you go. All right, say hey to everybody, and as I always say, go make stuff.